Aloha from Maui, Hawaii, and welcome to a Maui Music Moment. I'm your host, Randall Rospond. Our program intends to inspire, educate, and entertain you with an intimate glimpse into the sights, sounds, and minds of some of Maui's most unique musicians, songwriters, entertainers, and who knows what else. Welcome to another episode of a Maui Music Moment. I'm your host, Randall Rospond, and it's my pleasure and privilege to welcome my dear friend, long-time dear friend, and genius songwriter, if I do say so myself, Mr. Joe Benedett. Hey, Joe.
Hey, Randall. How are you?
Doing good, doing good. Glad to have you on the show.
Well, thank you.
Been waiting for a while to get you on. And as usual, we've done the music already, so I'm really thrilled because I think the songs turned out beautifully.
Felt good.
Felt good.
Yeah.
It felt good. Felt real. Yeah. And Joe, my first question I ask people is, are you from Maui? I know that you're not from Maui. You're from Santa Barbara, is that
I'm from
correct?
Santa Barbara, California. I was born in Las Vegas, Nevada, and then I moved there when I was a kid and played in a lot of bands and wrote songs and
when did you come here?
Moved to Los Angeles.
Oh.
For a while and lived under the Hollywood sign. Had a little
nice
teepee
spot
there, and but I moved to Maui first time in 1993. Got to get the right century here.
Yeah, sure. No, man.
92, 93, and I hung out here for a while, and then I went back to California. And usually when I'm here, I write songs and I work on music, and then I say I got to get back and play them for people. And then I get there and I go, it's time to go back and write some songs and sit in the jungle and surf a few waves.
But now you do both here.
Now I've been here since about 2003, 2004.
Okay, solid. So that's quite some time.
Yeah.
Quite some time. I can't do the math on that. It's got to be like 13 years.
A couple weeks.
Something like that. Well, we're going to get right into, Joe, I kind of prefaced this earlier when we were just talking. You are a songwriter in my opinion. When I listen and play your songs, I can't get them out of my head. There's that good of hooks and stuff. And this song we're going to go right into so that we don't lose anybody out there in TV land is a newer one of yours. Pretty damn new, isn't it? All American
It's my brand
City.
New song.
Brand new
Except
song.
for the one I wrote last night. It's my newest song, yeah.
It's about as new as they get.
Yeah.
And All American City.
Yeah.
And we'll come back and talk about that in a second. Then.
Okay.
The old factory sits with broken out windows like a ghost in the shadows of an all-American city. Most folks are gone now, their jobs ain't coming back. No matter what some politician promises, that's just a cold, hard fact. I was raised on stories about how good things used to be. Back in the day, you could stand in glory in a brief but golden peak. I grew up in an all-American city. I grew up in an all-American city. When I was just a young kid, I'd walk on down the road where rock and roll was blasting from my transistor radio. Mama brought out lemonade and set it on a crate. I just sipped it slow and contemplated tempting fate. I knew no better than to go right into the great unknown, where accidents wait to happen and leave you laid out on the floor. Witness to the fall of the all-American city. To the fall of the all-American city. Well, the truth lies somewhere in between us, and some don't understand. No need to build a wall between us, but don't the Bible say to love your fellow man like you love yourself? Don't you love yourself? The resistance calling out for change on a suicide mission. You've been naming names. Living in a world I no longer recognize. Listen to that madman with the propaganda, fear and lies. Shallow words were never spoken so pathologically. It's gonna bring on a revolution. People in the streets of every all-American city. Of every all-American city. Oh, how high is the water, mama? I just gotta know. In the rearview mirror, the caps are melting slow. You see the princess in the tower, the clown dance on the lawn, the puppet peeping from the bushes while dignity is long, long gone. I remember leaders like Kennedy and King who lifted up this country so we all could have a dream. The dream of the all-American city. The shining city on the hill.
Okay, that was All American City, brand new song from Joe Benedett. And Joe, I kind of picture that and glean from the lyrics that it's kind of a social commentary song. Can you correct me or fill us in on where you were going with that song?
Well, it's where the song's going with me.
Ah.
That's the way I look at it.
Okay, yeah.
Because I don't think about writing it. I think about more translating it, and it just kind of happens.
Uh-huh.
And when it comes out, I go, "Hey, how did that happen?" I was just watching TV and hanging out, and next thing you know, the guitar was in my hand, and some lyrics are on the page, and
you get surprised at like what it. Oh wow! Yeah,
well, then
I
I know that it needs to be written. I know it needs to be translated. So I just start playing it live, and then it kind of writes itself as I go, and I say, well, it was an A minor, not a C.
Yeah.
Or it was a B minor 7. That's the mystery chord. I remember that was the same chord I heard when I was in the crib, on the radio, that B minor 7. And I said,
that did a lot for me back then.
So,
I'm bringing it back.
So it just kind of happens, and then it kind of grows into what it is. Yeah, as I play it.
Right.
So that's kind of, I don't really try to write songs. They kind of just happen. and I go with it.
They come and they kind of have their own life, and you're a conduit.
That's
for them,
about it.
so to speak.
I'm not taking too much credit. I'm just translating it.
Pulling them
Pulling
out
it
of the
out
stars.
of the ether.
Yeah. Well, we have another song. We're going to get to that briefly, but I'd also like to mention, as you say, you've been back this time on Maui, very permanent for about 13 years. Now you're writing here and you're gigging here. Do you have any specific gigs you can tell our listeners about, or your website, or how can they find you?
Well, they can go to joebenedett.com. They can also go to iTunes and download some of my albums. I have several releases there. My brand new album is called A Lot of Girls Ago. And we did a lot of that here in Maui with some good folks, from Paul Marchetti on drums, Danny M on bass. We recorded it with Tommy Hall up in some tracks up in his studio.
Guy on Island.
We had folks like Sal Godinez, Esther Godinez, Kelly Covington, Lenny Castellanos played bass on one of the tunes. So some good folks.
Yeah,
and
some great Maui legends.
it was mixed by a great guy named Carl Lang, who's up here in Kula.
Oh, the great
So Carl was
yeah.
a great help. And I'm going to go back in to Carl's studio pretty soon and start
the new
recording
one.
my new songs. So
Right
I've got a
on.
whole new.
Now, will All American City be on?
That'll be the first cut on the album.
Okay, good. And
I already know the order.
If You Were Me, that's the next song that we're going to get to right away. Is that new enough to be? That's on one of your other
No, that's
CDs,
on an
correct?
album called Bare Bones.
That's correct.
And that's an all-acoustic album that I did in about 2004. And
Killer song.
so that's an oldie, but that was fun to do today.
Huge compliment to you on this one. If You Were Me, this is one of those songs that I can never get out of my head. It's written so well. The hooks on it are so deep in my DNA from listening to it that I'm going to have to wipe it clean so that I can go do a gig tomorrow, or I'll be playing your song the whole night. So this is If You Were Me,
That's right.
right here.
If you were me and I was you, would I see the same truth if I could look through your eyes? I'm in the dark, down in the deep, wondering just what's in front of me. What would you think if you were me? I wanna take this body and roll my head away. Take this body and roll my head away. Some people say that there's a price to pay for going down that road. Some people may not make it there with you. Ain't that the way life goes? Play it, Randall. I wanna take this body and roll my head away. Take this body and roll my head away. If you were me and I was you, would you see the same truth if you could look through my eyes? Like a bolt of the blue. Let my consciousness be your guide. That's what I'd do if I were you. I wanna take this body and roll my head away. Take this body and roll my head away. Wanna take this body and roll my head away.
Sweet. The song "If You Were Me" by my dear friend Joe Benedett. It was an honor to play on both of your songs, Joe. I love your music.
Well, I appreciate it, and I always have a good time playing with you, Randall.
We have a blast. We've been off and on, more off than on, because, you know, we go around the island like this gigging our solo gigs. But when did we first start playing together?
Probably 20 years ago,
Probably, yeah.
up in Haiku at the house.
I think we were like 12 or something,
Yeah,
right? Like, yeah. But
Young lads.
12 years old, 13, something like that. Anyway, "If You Were Me," epic, classic Joe Benedett song. One of those ones that I'm just like, I'm singing the chorus for the next week. Is there anything we need to explain about it, or
No, I think that song was just written because I had a friend that I had a kind of a difference of opinion with,
that happens?
and that's kind of what got it started.
Wow.
And it was saying, hey, you know, maybe from your if I could look at it
From
through
point
your
of view,
eyes,
yeah.
maybe I'd see what you're talking about.
I love that
and-
chorus
and
of you know, take this body and roll my head away. I'm just like, oh, it just slays me, man.
Who knows what that means?
But it's so visual, though. You know, everybody who hears that is going to be like, you know, oh man, I felt like that yesterday. I wish I could just take my head and just roll it into the, you know.
7-10 split.
Great tune. Got a lot of great tunes. You have a number of CDs available through your website, through iTunes.
You can get my album called Just Like Downtown. I had to think about that. Then I have an album called Now That the Money's Gone, and that features Denny Sywell from Paul McCartney and Wings on drums, Davey Farragher from Elvis Costello and the Imposters, Phil Bardowell from the Beach Boys, Arno Lucas on percussion. He plays with was with Al Jarreau for a long time, and George Duke. And that was recorded in Los Angeles, produced by a guy named Jim Crichton, who, if
Big
you
guy.
guys know a group called Saga, they're a Canadian progressive rock group, kind of like Rush, but
Yeah.
they're pretty well known up there. But Jim Crichton did a great job
Produced
and
that
produced
one.
that album.
That's a killer album.
And
Absolutely.
and then did Bare Bones, which is
Bones.
all acoustic, and Only an Ocean, and my latest one called
A lot of girls.
A Lot of Girls Ago. And the new one, the working
What's that
title
one
is
gonna be?
called Plate Lunch.
Late lunch.
So I'm looking at the cover like a little Woolworths menu, you know, something like that.
Oh,
So-
okay. Yeah, I got you.
So so I'm going to
And
go in and see
so-
how that goes.
All American City will be on that one, and obviously a bunch of other songs.
Sure thing.
You're playing a lot where?
Well, I'm on Fridays and Sundays. I'm at the world famous Cheeseburger in Paradise in Lahaina.
Lahaina town.
You can come up there and have a Mai Tai and hang
What's
out
the
with
hours
me.
on that one?
I'm there 4:30 to 7:30. Also been out in Kaanapali playing, and you know, it's pretty much
And they can
everywhere
find
around
this
the
on the
island.
website, and we'll roll the website as well at
Yeah.
the end of the show.
You sure can.
Absolutely.
And you can listen to songs and watch a few videos and read about stuff on the website. So
Cool. You can find all things regarding Joe at joebenedett.com. Is that correct?
that's right. And I want you to come in maybe when I'm recording the new album and
Love
lay
to,
down
man.
a little.
Whatever you want, just
Thing.
let me know. It'd be my
Whatever that
it'd be an honor.
Just
I'd
do
love to.
this, you know.
I just you stand in the field. Hey, what do you want?
Let's get this thing done.
Yeah, let's get this done.
Let's get this door frame in.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to the new CD, and I know Carl does great work, so we're in for a treat with your new CD. Now, I wanted to mention the one guitar that I played on All American City is a 51 Gibson that I actually got from you.
Yes, you did. You've got a few guitars.
I got a couple guitars
out of
from
me.
you over the years.
I have you in the will there for the good stuff. Too.
Oh, good. Thank you. Thank you.
Should anything happen to me, you know where you're gonna make a beeline.
And vice versa, you'll have my cachet of
But yeah,
guitars.
that's a sweet guitar. I got it in a Texas pawn shop, and I called it Lone Star.
Lone Star.
So I'm glad you have it. And you have the 56 3/4,
That
which is
three-quarter,
sweet too.
That's another one that I got off you.
So
And
I love old guitars. That's one thing
We're old guitar
passionate
fans. We love them. Now, we're going to play an old song of mine, and you were like, if you want to do something new, do something new. But I haven't done this song on the program yet, and you and I have played this numerous times over the years. We did a big benefit for Mana'o years ago at the EF Theater, and we did it there. And the funny part about that was we had just played one of your songs to pick up this thematic issue that keeps coming up for me. We had just played one of Joe's songs, No Worries, and then we went to go play my song, which we're going to play for you folks in just a second, called Jimmy the Night Away. And I could not figure out how to play my song that I had written and performed for decades, because your song had such hooks in it. I was just staying there playing your song over and over in my head, and it was the first time that I was like, this guy is a great songwriter. So Joe, seriously, you are a great songwriter. It's my privilege to call you a friend.
Thank you, Randall.
And JoeBenedett.com. This is Jimmy the Night Away with my dear friend and guest, Joe Benedett. Until next time, mahalos to Carl Rosicki, our videographer, Larry John, our producer, Akaku TV Maui, and I'm Randall Rospond. On behalf of Joe Benedett and the whole crew, aloha.
Aloha.
Singing with the tears of a cloud, and the violence hangs so soft. Come on, let your light shine down. Jimmy the night away, Jimmy the night away, Jimmy the night away, Jimmy the night away. Now Miss Mary quite contrary, she knows how the story goes. Guess the Queen of Sheba and of course the Holy Ghost. Jimmy lives a lifetime, Judy lives a share. Whenever they need each other, the love is always waiting there. Jimmy the night away, Jimmy the night away, Jimmy the night away, Jimmy the night away. and autumn was a breeze. Crimson were the colors, her hair was brighter than the leaves. The song the strings were singing was so beautiful to see. Clouds that dance a violin, whisper love before you leave. Jimmy night away, Jimmy night away, Jimmy night away, Jimmy night away. Now I'll tell you all the story that the world and the baby's true. Here we are together, you know, we're doing what we do. We can live in rhythm, we can live in rhyme. We can love each other if we only take the time. Jimmy night away.